Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Vince and this is Out Thrifting for a Living, where I try to provide you some tips to assist you on your reselling journey. A little bit about me: I've been reselling for about 4.5 years now, most of which have been on a part-time basis, and I recently took the dive into full-time reselling about 2 months ago. And since then my sales on eBay and other platforms have taken off, so I wanted to share my experience and some tips with you. I primarily sell on Amazon, eBay, Mercari, and Poshmark. About 80% or so, it's grown a little bit. 80% or so is Amazon, and about 20% is eBay, Mercari, and Poshmark. And I'm trying to even that out to about a 50-50 between the platforms, so that there's no over reliance on one platform, just in case anything happens. Primarily focus on media items such as books, DVDs, CDs, video games. Recently expanded into toys and collectibles and clothing. The items that you're going to see today in the what sold video are sourced from yard sales, estate sales, thrift stores, and Facebook Marketplace. I try to obtain these items for as low as possible, so I may have $4 to $5 into some of these items, most of which are even less than that. This weekend, from Friday to this morning, I've had 17 items sell for $395.98. So that is not bad, especially with eBay being such a small percentage of my business. I'm very happy with those numbers, and hopefully we can continue to grow these numbers in the future. So let's start. The first order I had, this customer actually bought 2 items. It was a 1989 Barbie picnic set. It's a lot of pieces in this. A 1989 Barbie picnic set, as well as a 1989 Barbie backyard playset. So these 2 lots of Barbie accessories sold to the same buyer for $70.18. They're headed to Romulus, Michigan. They were listed on 13 August of 2023. So these have been sitting for a while. I'm okay with that because look at the profit that we were able to make from this purchase. Save a lot on shipping since they're going to the same buyer. And it took up relatively little space in my storage area. So I'm perfectly fine with the long wait time to sell. Don't let that be discouraging if they're not selling as fast as you think. So in reselling, that's one of the hardest things to understand, is you have to wait for some of these things to sell for the right buyer to come along. Next, we have a video game. It's Mass Effect 2 for Xbox 360. It's disc only. It's sold for $5.99. It's headed to Greer, South Carolina, and was listed on 10 May. So I sell a lot of lower end media, like I mentioned. And the reason why is because I like to try to have multiple sales from buyers when they come on. That will save on shipping, and hopefully they see the prices and are willing to buy more because of those prices. So while I'm not going to profit a whole ton on this, I'll profit enough to be happy and content with those sales. To me, any sale is a good sale. Next, we have a movie. It's The Spooktacular New Adventures of Casper Volume 2. This sold for $6.85 and is headed to Atchison, Kansas. This was listed on 14 February. Next, we have a book. It's called Legends in Bronze, the biography of Jay Banks, and it was actually signed by the author. So this is why this book was able to get a little bit more money. It sold for $36.50. It's headed to Lampasas, Texas, and was listed on 12 April. Up next, we have a piece of clothing. So this is a good brand to look out for. We have an actual store in our area here in Florida, so we find this a lot in thrift stores, yard sales. It's Lily Pulitzer. These are the Kala linen shorts. They sold for a best offer of $20. They're headed to Palio, Pennsylvania, and they were listed on 29 March. So if you see Lily Pulitzer in your area and it's for a cheap price, you should definitely consider picking those up. We do very well on that brand. Next is another video game. It's World Series of Poker, the official game for PlayStation 2. And it's disc only. Sold for $564 and is headed to Everett, Massachusetts. This one had been listed a little longer. It was listed on 21 January. But again, I focus on media because it's very simple to ship. 1, 2, to list. You only need a picture of the front and the back if there's any condition issues. And it takes up very little storage space. This is the big sale of the day. This was one of the estate sale finds for the past week or so. It's the ROBOCUT vacuum hair cutting system. This is pretty cool. I mean, it's very old. I didn't test it out on like hair, but I made sure that the clippers worked and that the vacuum would actually suck the hair out after it's been cut. That sold for $149.99. It's headed to Walla Walla, Washington, and it was listed on 9 May. So it sold within 2 days. Next, we have another video game. It's Madden NFL 08 for the Xbox 360. Another disc only. It's sold for $5.99 and is headed to Eau Claire, Wisconsin. And this was listed on 10 May. Next, we have another book. It's called These Strange German Ways. Sold for $8.99. Is headed to Princeton, Minnesota, and was listed on 2 April. I have another video game, Crazy Taxi for the PlayStation 2. Disc only again. It's sold for $8.08 and is headed to Brooklyn, New York, and was listed on 21 January. So with these games, a lot of them were listed on the same day. It's because I do them in bulk. I'll take all the pictures and then list them all together, all in one sitting, so that I can just be done with them. And when they sell, you know, and they take up very little room. Another video game, Gears of War 3 for the Xbox 360, sold for $5.68. It's headed to Tylersville, North Carolina, and was listed on, again, 21 January. Next, we have another piece of clothing. Its brand is THML Ruffle Flutter Cap Sleeve Blouse for women. We sold this for a best offer of $34. It's headed to Tucker, Georgia, and was listed on 28 April. So with summer coming up, there's going to be a lot of shopping, a lot of people searching for these floral prints and things like that. So keep an eye out for those kind of designs. Another blouse, for women. It's a Bobo Flutter Sleeve blouse. Again, it's floral print. Sold for $17.09. It's headed to Athens, Pennsylvania, and was listed on 15 March. Finally, we have the last eBay sale of the weekend. It's another DVD. It's Chesapeake Shores Season 2, sold for $7.10. It's headed to Florence, Arizona, and was listed on 3 January of this year. So I believe this one was actually the longest one that was listed. 3 January. And to wrap it up, we have a Mercari sale. It's a Buckle brand day trip romper, sold for a best offer on Mercari for $21. Again, it's floral print. It's headed to Des Moines, Iowa, and was listed on 29 April. So that is it for the sales this weekend. Again, we sold 17 items for $395.98, which is an outstanding weekend in my opinion. If you guys have any comments or questions, any ideas on how I can improve the channel, please leave your comments down below and please consider subscribing. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.